The first thing you're going to do to create your audio story for digital journalism is to get the files that you recorded in the field onto your computer, either your laptop or your desktop. So you can see here I have plugged in an external drive that's got my SD card in it, and I've opened it over here, and under folder number 1 you can see there are my audio files, and I have already relabeled them. So you can see I'm going to take interview 1, hold the shift key down, music, Nats 1, Nats 2, and I'm going to go ahead and drag those to the desktop of my computer. Alright, now I no longer need that folder. I no longer need that SD card. I can actually go ahead and eject it from the computer so that I don't get confused. Next step is to log my audio. So you can see here I created a new Word document. I've titled it Audio Log. On the left, this is the seconds, the time that I will show you how to read, and then this is what is said on the actual audio clip. So now I'm going to hide that for right now, and I'm going to go ahead and find those clips that I just dragged, and you can see they're right here on the desktop. And the first thing I'm going to do is click on the clip, right click on it, and I'm going to open with, and I choose not to use iTunes, too much going on there, so you should have QuickTime Player, a version of it on your computer, and it's going to open your audio file in a little window like that. So I've got the interview open, and you can see that it's a WAV file, and I'm going to go ahead and reopen the Word document so you can see how I have logged what's being said on the clip. So I play it.
Gary Markham.
Again. On the left portion in the QuickTime Player window, you can see the seconds. Time code is seconds, minutes, hours. So from 00 to 18 seconds. And then you can see on my log how I've logged that. So from 02 to 010, he says his name. 15 to 33, he says this clip. In here, I've put exactly how many seconds that particular soundbite is. And I've gone through and I've gone ahead and I've logged all of the things that I'm going to use to edit. In your case, it's best if you log everything so that you can make sure that you choose the storytelling elements that you're going to need to produce your piece. Once I'm done with the audio clip, the interview, I went ahead and I opened up, again hiding the Word document, right click, open with, QuickTime Player, the music clip, and I dragged it down. I got me a transmission and all the chrome. And in the Word document, I went ahead and logged the lyrics that I knew I wanted to use in my story. So now I know that when I go get ready to edit, I need from 227 to 248 in the music clip. And then I logged Nats 2. So I know what I've got there. So that's going to be my paper edit. I look at that and I can figure out this is how I'm going to edit my story together. These are in order as to where they played on the audio clip, but I'm going to move them around and edit them in a different order. Still going to tell the same story. I'm just going to condense it and move it around. So now we're going to open up Audacity and I'm going to show you the process using the software. To make sure that the Audacity that you are using is one of the latest versions, you would go ahead and go to your applications folder, find the Audacity folder, right click and look under Get Info, and it tells you right here I'm using version 2.0.2.0. So now I'm able to do many things with clips that we weren't able to do with previous versions. I'm going to go ahead and open Audacity now, which is in the dock. And there's plenty of help with the newest versions of Audacity, and this tells you at the startup. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there, but you should be able to see that. There's a quick help version, manual, wiki, forum. First thing that we're going to do is File, Save Project As. You're saving an Audacity project. Saving a project creates a file that only Audacity can open. To save an audio file for the other, use export. We will do that later. Okay. Gives me the option to do save as. So this is auto story edit, and I'll go ahead and put it in this folder that I've already created that's final edit audio. So that's where I'm going to put it. You can see that it's going to save it as an Audacity project. All right, need to bring in our files. So the first thing we're going to do is import our audio. Now remember, I put it all on the desktop, or it's an audio edit, either one. You can see I've got them here. I'm going to go ahead and just shift click, and I'm going to open all of them. And it tells you that it's going to make a copy of it, and that's what you want it to do, because you don't want to edit your original files. You want to create new copies. And it's going to do that for each one. Since the first thing I want to edit is the interview, I've gone ahead and I've muted all the other tracks. They're still there so I can work with them, but I've muted them so they don't interfere with my editing. And I've expanded the waveform so I can see it a little bit better to edit. First step I'm going to take is I'm going to insert a new stereo track, which will come down at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and move that track all the way up to the top. The reason I chose stereo, you can see, is I'm working with stereo audio. So I need a stereo track in order for me to edit into it. So I'm going to just move this track up, and I just lift it and carry it, and I can actually put it on top of the interview, and that's going to be where we're going to edit to. So go back and click the selection key, click in the area that I want to edit.
Gary Markham.
Again.
Okay.
So I know from looking at my log that I want this section right here. And again, once you select it and you hit play.
My name is Gary Markham, and this is my 1939 Deluxe Ford Coupe, Street Rod.
Sounds good? So I am simply going to edit, copy, or Command C, click the new audio track that we created. Make sure you click in the left part of the window so it makes it active. Paste. There's my first clip. And we'll fine tune it later. Now I go back to my log, and I don't want him to say, my name is Gary Markham and this is my 19... I want him to say, my name is Gary Markham, I'm a retired airline pilot, and I've been retired since March of 2002. So now I need to go into the second clip and go down to 6:35. To do that, I can reduce it. So I need to be in this general area so that I can get that next line that I'm going to drag to the top.
Later he was dead, but that happened in 1939. And when you think of that...
What's your day job?
I am a retired airline pilot. I've been retired since March of 2002.
So there you go. That's exactly the clip that I need, and I'm going to want it to come second. I can see where it is here.
What's your day job?
I'm going to drag it from right here and just estimate that I'm going to play it again.
I am a retired airline pilot. I've been retired since March of 2002, so what, 7.5 years.
Oh, too much, so I'm going to slide that back in because I just want him to say 7.5 years.
I am a retired airline pilot. I've been retired since March of 2002, so what, 7.5 years.
Again, edit, copy, or Command C. We're going to go back to the beginning, click here. Wherever you put your cursor is where that clip is going to be pasted. And for right now, it doesn't matter. We just want to get all of our interview clips in the order that we're going to use them. Then we will use the time shift key to move them around. So now I pasted that clip in. And we continue doing this until we have all of our audio clips in order. Okay, so you can see I've now edited all of the clips that I have chosen from my log in order the way I want them to be heard. And I've left little bridges here. I've left breaks here, and there's a break here, and there's a break here, and there's a break here. Those are for natural sound and music pops. So that's going to be the next thing I'm going to edit. The first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the interview clips up here in case I make a mistake and I need to come back and get something else. But I'm going to go ahead and mute it. And I'm just going to take this and drag it, make sure I'm on the selection tool, and drag it down to the bottom so that it's not in my line of sight. So now I can go and I can edit the music and I can edit the natural sound. One of the things that makes audio storytelling really effective is if you start with a sound rather than just someone talking, you go ahead and you start with the Nats pop. So now what I'm going to do is I've listened to my natural sound and I like this clip here, Nats 2. It's got the sound of a car coming and then it's also got the sound of a car leaving. And what I'm able to do now in this version of Audacity is I'm able to split those two sounds, separate them, and I can use them in two different places. So I'm going to go ahead, make sure I'm in the selection tool, click where I think it would be a good place to split, go up to Edit, go up to Clip Boundaries, click Split. It's now given me two tracks. And when I go to the time shift tool, I can just go ahead and move that over. I'll get to it in a second. Click back on the selection tool, go back to the beginning of this clip, and play it.
Okay.
And you can see how the noise rises. I like that for the beginning of the story, but I don't need the OK or some of that other stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go from right about there, and I'm just going to delete that or cut it. Oops, undo, Command Z, or Edit Undo, because I didn't quite have this all the way over to the beginning. Now, I've highlighted the area of this clip that I don't want, so on a Mac I'm just going to hit Command X, and that's going to go ahead and remove it. Or you can look under Edit, and there are several different things you can do under Remove Audio. Command X, Delete is the same thing. Various other things, we're not going to get into those now. So now my clip sounds like this. And I'm going to use that whole clip, and that's going to be my Nats track. And I'm going to go ahead, and since I've built my audio track up here, and this is the music track which I'm going to use, I'm going to go ahead and insert another new track, add new stereo track, down at the bottom, drag it up, because I want it to go right underneath where my narration is. And this time I'm going to go ahead and label it, name, and it's going to be Nats Music. Okay, so we know that this is the audio track, we know that this is the Nats Music. Going back down to the Nats that I just edited, I'm going to go ahead and select this. And if you double click on it, it'll select it. And I can either cut it or copy it. I'm going to go ahead and Command C, which is copy, because I might need to use it more than once. Click on this track and Command V, and there it is. Now, if you listen, if I go ahead and mute it down here, and you can see this is just a series of clicks. Once we get everything in the right row, then it's just a series of clicks and finessing the audio. So now I can go home on this cut and play it.
My name is Gary Markham. I am a retired airline pilot.
Okay, clearly that natural sound is too high, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to adjust that by reaching up here And this is your envelope tool. And when you do that, you can see it creates little keyframes. So we're going to go ahead and put a keyframe here, right where his audio starts. We're going to put another keyframe here, another keyframe here, and one at the end. And what we want to do is we want to drag this down gently and evenly. You want your lines to be even so that we can have the sound of what's going on at the event while he's talking to us, and one doesn't play over the other. So again, you want to go back to the beginning and play that and see if you like it.
My name is Gary Markham. I am a retired airline pilot.
I still think it's too loud. As long as I've got the envelope tool, I'm going to go ahead and bring this down even more. Want to try to get those lines even.
My name is Gary Markham. I am a retired airline pilot. I've been retired since March of 2002, so what, 7.5 years. And this is my 1939 Deluxe Ford Coupe.
So I have a gap here, and I've decided that I want to put music in that gap. And there's a line of music that I really like, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that line of music in there. To save time in editing this and this demonstration, this is the music. I've already, as you can see, edited that clip of music when I was doing this for the demonstration. Here it is. I've got it in this other project. I'm going to go ahead, click on this, click on this clip, edit, copy, click back into this project. And it's just that simple. You can cut and paste from other projects as well. I'm going to click there, edit, paste, and that's the music clip. And using the time shift tool, I'm going to put it right where I think I need it, which is, as you can see, that yellow line comes in and it connects it, it snaps it to where that bridge is. So now if I want to listen to this clip from here,
I got it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime.
You can see that it starts talking and it's over the music. So we're going to shift click all of that. But it plays like this.
Coupe, Street Rock.
I got it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime.
It's a...
So now, again, having to use the time shift key, we're going to click here. Click here. And drag all that, because we're going to move all that. We're going to shift it over so it locks right there. So you can see it's as simple as just cutting and pasting. You're going to take the clips from your log, you're going to cut them, you're going to paste them, and eventually you're going to get a complete story. So again, this is my finished product. This is what it looks like. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections from the interview. I've got natural sound here, music pop there, more natural sound, and a music pop for a close.
My name is Gary Markham. I am a retired airline pilot. I've been retired since March of 2002, so what, 7.5 years. And this is my 1939 Deluxe Ford Coupe, Street Rock.
I got it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime.
It's an old car that's been modernized. It has a 350 Chevrolet crate motor, has power steering, has 4-wheel power disc brakes. It has AC that'll freeze you out. It has emergency flashers, has turn signals. It's just an old car that's been modernized, that's all. And well, in 1939, brand new, since this is a deluxe, it probably cost about, I want to say about $600. These are meets that bring people together. There's no charge to come here. People just come here and socialize and bring their cars. They're in all stages of construction, maybe just being started to be built, or a finished car like mine, and then they just socialize.
I'm gonna ride around in style. I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around.
There's your finished piece. What do you do with it when you're finished? You want to make sure that you have this at the beginning of the piece. You want to make sure it's at the start. You want to go up to File, Export. It's going to give you a window. You can see here I've got my Final Edit Audio, Audio Edit Demo. It's MP3 file. That's what we want to post online. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to make this Demo 4. I'm going to make sure that I know where I'm saving it. I'm going to click Save, and it's going to export, give me this window. All I did was add the year, click OK, and it's going to mix down my tracks to 2 stereo channels into an exported file. That's great. Everything's mixed down. There you go. And before you leave Audacity, you want to make sure that you save everything. I'm going to just hide Audacity. There's my log. I'm going to hide that. And I'm going to show you, here is the Audio Edit Demo MP3. Right click on it. I can open it with iTunes, or I can open it with QuickTime Player. And there's the whole mixed version.
My name is Gary Markham. I am a retired.
So from there, we will take it and we will post it on your blog, and you will post it on Google+, and this will be your Audio of a Place assignment.